Torrents Unleashed, the unfolding of the 1975 Banqiao Dam Disaster. The 1975 Banqiao Dam Disaster, a flood chain reaction on a near unthinkable scale. In the summer of 1975, a series of storms rolled over southwestern Henan Province in China. But this was not just any series of storms. Picture the scene. A dense blanket of clouds packing unimaginable amounts of rain ready to unleash upon the land below. The Banqiao Dam stood firm against these elements, its concrete walls poised as a bulwark against nature's fury. It was built for resilience, for reliability, to hold back the surges of floodwaters. But Mother Nature had other designs. As rains became a deluge, warnings shot across the darkened skies, like streaks of lightning accompanying the torrential downpour. The scene was set for calamity, the skies roiling with portent. People glanced skyward, anticipating respite that never came. Instead, what began as a regular storm rapidly transformed into one of historic proportions. The dam, a symbol of modern engineering prowess and safety, was about to be put to the ultimate test. And just as dawn broke on August 6th, the scale of the threat became heartbreakingly clear. Nature was on a rampage, and humanity was at its mercy. An ominous clock was ticking on the dam's structural integrity, with each second turning hope to dread. Image this. Overhead, the clouds roiling in somber grey hues, unveiling merciless rain upon the landscape. People in the fields, pausing to look upwards, faces turned to the darkened sky in a timeless, silent plea. Picture it now. The Banqiao Dam, a towering force of engineering, was constructed to withstand the might of extreme weather, a testament to human ingenuity. Built in the 1950s, under the guidance of both Chinese and Soviet engineers, it was designed with a sense of invincibility, standing as a bulwark against the frequent floods that plagued the region. But as August wore on, the relentless rain, fueled by Typhoon Nina, pushed the reservoir to its limits. The dam faced something beyond what it was ever meant to endure. Roads became rivers, fields were transformed into lakes, and the air was thick with anxiety and desperation. Yet within these chaotic scenes was an unsettling calm at the dam, a deceptive stillness that masked the impending doom. Inside, engineers monitored gauges with growing apprehension as numbers crept higher. They communicated this peril to authorities far from the rising tides of disaster. But their pleas seemed to vanish into the ether, overwhelmed by bureaucratic inertia. Envision the dam as depicted in grandiosity. Immense concrete pylons etched against the skyline, the stark geometries of this human creation juxtaposed against the tumultuous clouds above. Tension rides alongside pride, as both engineers and villagers look on with bated breath. Night descended upon Henan Province with a shroud of unease. In the valleys below the dam, families nestled in their homes, some clinging to radios, buzzing with static and snippets of weather reports. Yet, as the rain drummed incessantly on roofs like some primal heartbeat, few could grasp the growing peril just upstream. As eyes closed in hopes of sleep, a different storm brewed within the control rooms of the Banqiao Dam. Engineers, eyes strained with fatigue, continued their vigil over the now teetering behemoth. The walls, they'd soon discover, had already started to show signs of a dangerous seep. The ear-splitting roar of persistent rain muted their whispers of doubt, overridden by the rush of the swollen reservoir. And then the unimaginable happened. Audible only to those close, a soft rumble began, a sound that would soon herald disaster. The dam was about to give way, and in that immediate darkness, the sequence of alarm and action triggered too late. This pause and silence in the command post on that night, leading to whispered undertones of alarm, marked the beginning of a cascade that would soon culminate in chaos and tragedy. Dawn broke, not with the warmth of sunlight, but with the chilling sight of devastation. At 1 a.m., the dam breached. A wall of water, unimaginable in its power and scale, burst forth, crushing everything in its path. Overwhelmed villages were swept away. The roar of the torrent drowned out human cries. This flood was no respecter of obstacles. It charged downstream with ferocity, a juggernaut of destruction carving through the land, uprooting lives and livelihoods indiscriminately. Imagine waves towering high, sweeping through the plains, and taking with them everything from humble shanties to entire railway lines. The calamity didn't end there. It gained momentum, demanding destruction over greater distances. Each breach led to more destruction, with one dam's failure setting off a chain reaction downriver, leaving a path of unimaginable ruin. What once was order turned to chaos, as natural and human-engineered structures alike succumbed to the water's relentless assault. 11 million people were affected by this catastrophe, with death tolls soaring. Survivors were left to pick up the pieces of what once was home amidst drowned fields and scarred earth. The aftermath of the Banqiao Dam disaster was grim beyond reckoning. Fields lay drowned under layers of silt. Broken infrastructure marked the land like scars of a long-forgotten battle. And surviving communities mourned colossal losses. Yet, within this desolation, new beginnings struggled to find root, like tendrils of green stubbornly snaking through cracks in pavement. Governments around the world took notice. The disaster underscored the peril of underestimating nature's wrath, the vulnerabilities in the human endeavor to tame it. Conversations began about dam safety, emergency preparedness, and the indispensable need for robust infrastructure. This tragedy whispers through time, reminding us of the balance we must maintain with the environment. A lesson in humility, in caution, and in reverence. Can we ever truly conquer nature? Or must we learn to coexist, anticipating its capriciousness? The victims of the Banqiao Dam provide faces to the statistics, stories to numbers. Their legacy, like the visible scars on the landscape, continues to teach future generations about the awesome force of nature and our responsibility in harnessing it with care and foresight.